good at you are lighting matches. I am not.
Just gotta strike it really hard.
Huh?
Strike it really hard, really fast.
I'm sorry. I never smoke. I don't. Oh, I did it.
Oh, the K-pop.
Thank you.
All right, how are we close?
You okay, Rabbi?
I'm good.
How old are you now?
Do you know who was very excited to be doing this? I don't know if you saw it.
Who?
Rabbi Mark Kaiserman.
Oh, is he coming?
No, he's in New York, but he saw
Is he
that
gonna watch?
you were going to be here, and he said he's very excited to see this. So that was good news.
He's gonna be watching?
I don't know. He might be. You never know who's watching, right?
I feel like since he posted that, there's gonna be a lot more viewers than usual. Is it working right now? Is it on right
Supposedly.
now? So they can hear us, everything we're saying?
Yeah, so watch it.
Oh, shoot.
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to see where the Torah blessing is tonight.
Torah blessing. There it is.
Okay.
You might want to bring your prayer book up just to be sure.
Okay. As long as this stays, I'm good. But I'll bring it.
Hello, good Shabbos. Shabbos, how are you? That's a story. It's always a story with him. Yeah, he's very good.
You know that was my favorite book.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, no, he's. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, how are we doing? It looks like 7 o'clock. Well, good Shabbos, everybody. Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Well, it's very nice to be together, and we're especially happy to have Jeremy Tucker here helping out on the accompaniment tonight. So we're going to begin with a blessing over the Shabbos Candles, and you can find this in the Siddur on pages 3 and 2. And reciting the blessings tonight will be Diane Salzman and Paulette Feinstein. So please stand.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us, as their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light. So may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushtanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu להדליק נר של Shabbat.
Amen.
Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Amen. Thank you, and good Shabbos. Please be seated. And we're going to begin with Hinei Matov. You can find this on page 10. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is when all of us can sit together in unity and harmony and in peace. Hinei Matov u'manahim shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei matov u'manahim shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei matov shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei matov shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei matov u'manahim shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei matov u'manahim shevet achim gam yachad. And now we turn to page 8. I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. Now, look, God needs no words, no English, no Hebrew, no semantics, and honestly, no services. But I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other, to work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illumine all of us and to bring that vision to life. And now, turn with me to page 23. This one is going to be a cappella. And we haven't done it in a long time, but I really love this. It's the very end of Psalm 93, which is the traditional set of psalms that greet Shabbat. Mikolot mayim, mayim rabim adirim, mishberei yam, adir bamarom, Adonai. Yada lai 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 lai, yada lai 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 lai, yada lai 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 lai, yada 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 lai lai, yada lai lai, yada lai lai lai, yada lai lai lai, yada lai lai, yada lai lai, yada lai lai. Yada lai lai lai, yada lai lai lai, yada lai 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 lai, yada lai lai. Eidotecha nemnu me'od, levecha navakodesh Adonai. Le'orech yamim, yada lai lai lai, yada lai lai lai, yada lai 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 lai, yada lai lai, yada lai lai lai, yada lai lai lai, yada lai lai lai, yada lai lai, yada lai lai, yada lai lai. Yada lai lai lai, yada lai lai, yada lai lai, yada lai lai lai, yada lai lai lai, yada lai lai lai, yada lai lai. So we conclude this introductory part of our service, Kabbalat Shabbat, with the Chatzi Kaddish. You'll find this on page 26. Yikadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah v'amad yibarach yerutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechan v'yomechan uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael b'hagala b'hagala u'bizman kariv v'imeru amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah Mevarach La'olam Olal Me'amaya Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitbar V'yitramam V'yitnaseh V'yitadar V'yitaleh V'yitalahal Shemei Dekudesha Brichu Leila Min Kol B'chata V'shirata Tush b'chata v'nechemata da'amiran v'alma v'imeru. Amen. Our call to worship, Baruch Hu, page 28. Please stand. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai Amevarach Baruch Adonai Amevarach the middle of 29. Oh God, you are as near as the very air we breathe, yet farther than the farthermost star. We yearn to reach you. We seek the light and warmth of your presence. Though we say you are near, we're lonely and alone. Oh, let our desire be so strong that it will tear the veil that keeps you from our sight. Let your light release our darkness and reveal the glory and joy of your presence. Middle of page 33. Let's read responsively. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. Then this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form, Baruch Atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Please be seated, and we join together in Ve'ahavta. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol lebavcha ubechol nafshecha ubechol modecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta b'am v'shivtecha b'veitecha uvelechtecha b'derech uveshachbecha uvkumecha ukshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha lemahan tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kiddoshim leloechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher otzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiyot lachem lelohim ani Adonai Elohechem. And on page 39, in the middle, again we'll read responsively. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. And we're going to join in singing the Song of Freedom, Mi Chamocha, page 40. Mi chamocha va'elim Adonai, mi chamocha ne'edar b'kodesh, nora tehilot, o seifele, mi chamocha va'elim Adonai, mi chamocha Ne'edar b'kodesh. And the top of 43. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporeh sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. Well, the middle of 44, I knew I really had to pick this one or people would be gravely disappointed. So please join me. Yismechu v'malachutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat, korei oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'malachutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat, korei oneg Shabbat. Mekadeshei, Mekadeshei Shvi Shabbat, Kulam Yisbe'u Veitangu Mitrecha Shabbat, Yismechu V'malachutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, Korei oneg Shabbat, Yismechu v'malachutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, Korei oneg Shabbat. V'shvi ratzita bo v'kidashtaho Shabbat, Chemdat yamim Oto karata Shabbat, Yismechu v'malachutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, Korei oneg Shabbat, Yismechu v'malachutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, Korei oneg Shabbat. Zecher l'maaseh, l'maaseh v'reishit Shabbat. Zecher l'maaseh, l'maaseh v'reishit Shabbat. Yismechu v'malachutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, Korei oneg Shabbat, Yismechu v'malachutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, v'korei oneg Shabbat. We're ready for the tefillah. It begins with our preparation, Adonai Svatai Tiftach, on page 46. Please stand. Adonai Svatai Tiftach, Ufi Agid Tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, Elohei Avoteinu, V'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Elohei Bilcha, Elohei Tzilpa, Ha'el Agadol Agibor V'hanara, El Elyon, Gamel Chasadim Tabim, V'konei hakol, v'zocher chasdei avot v'imahot, u'mevi ge'ula livnei v'nehem, l'man shemo b'ahava, melech ozer u'moshia u'magen. Baruch atah Adonai, magen Abraham, v'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, michaya kol atah, Rab Lahoshia, Mashiv Haruach, Umarida Gashem, Michalkel Chayim Bechesed, Michaye Hakal Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofei Cholim, umatir asarim, umekayem emunata, lishenei afar, micha mocha bal giburot, umido melach, melech memit, umechayeh, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'aman atah lachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh, atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, ukadoshim b'kol yom, yahalalu chaselah. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. Please be seated. And we're turning to page 55. Disturb us, Adonai. Ruffle us from our complacency. Make us dissatisfied. Dissatisfied with the peace of ignorance, the quietude which arises from a shunning of the horror, the defeat, the bitterness and the poverty, physical and spiritual, of humans. Shock us, Adonai. Deny to us the false Shabbat, which gives us the delusions of satisfaction amid a world of war and hatred. Wake us, O God, shake us from the sweet and sad poignancies rendered by half-forgotten melodies and rubric prayers of yesteryears. Make us know the border of the sanctuary is not the border of living. The walls of your temples are not shelters from the winds of truth, justice, and reality. So disturb us. God, vex us. Let not your Shabbat be a day of torpor and slumber. Rather, let it be a time to be stirred and spurred to action. Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. Page 57, in the middle. We join together. You are with us in our prayer, our love and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you. There find courage, insight, and endurance. Let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha lebadcha b'yirah na'avod. Modim anachnu lak shatahu Adonai, shatahu Adonai Eloheinu, ve'Elohei avoteinu, le'olam le'olam va'ed. Ay, 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 modim anachnu lak shatahu Adonai, shatahu Adonai Eloheinu, ve'Elohei moteinu, le'olam le'olam va'ed. Ay, 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 tzur chayenu, ay, 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 magen yishenu, atah ledor bador, noda lecha unesaper tehilatecha, ay, 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 tzur chayenu, ay, 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 magen yishenu, atah ledor bador, noda lecha unesaper tehilatecha. At the top of page 61, we join together in our longing for peace. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land, and plant virtue in every soul. May the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamvarech et amo Yisrael bashalom. Now we take a moment for our own thoughts and prayers. Ose shalom bimrama, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, ve'imru, amen. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Well, we come now to the Torah service, and we're going to do it in the following way. I'm going to call upon Mike Tucker, who is going to take the Torah out, and Roberta is going to undress it. Today, we're using an old friend. I came in this week to roll the Torah and get it ready, and decided, I love the Torah in the middle, of course, the one we created for our 25th anniversary. It's so beautiful, but I don't want to ignore our other Torah scrolls, and we lived so many years with the one on the right, and it is lighter. It's easier to deal with. And so we're going to use that one on the right. We're going to sing, as we take the Torah out of the ark, we're going to sing Al Shlosha Devarim. So please stand. Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Alam, Alam, Amen. Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Ha'olam, Ha'olam, Amen. Allah Torah, Ve'al Avodah, Ve'al Gemilut Chasadim. Allah Torah, Ve'al Avodah, Ve'al Gemilut Chasadim. Okay, good, thank you. Oh, no, I've got it. And if I forget, you'll remind me. I'll remind you. Good. I got a lot of helpers here. It's good. Please be seated. So I'm following the style to which people have become accustomed, and that is I'm going to speak before the Torah reading. We all know the story. The Pharaoh decided the best way to prevent a future uprising of the Hebrew slaves was to get rid of all the newborn males. Just toss them into the Nile. I'm not sure where he thought the slave manpower would come from in 20 years' time, but that's his problem. Well, when Yocheved gave birth to a beautiful baby boy, she decided to hide him and not throw him into the Nile. But after 3 months, she realized that his periodic crying would give him away. So she tucked him into a little basket and placed him in a marshy area of the river. The Pharaoh's daughter, bathing in that area, finds him. She recognizes at once that he is a Hebrew little boy. How does she know this? Well, a diaper change tells the tale. The mohel had done his job. Well, this story brings up questions, lots of questions. First of all, what is the name of the Pharaoh's daughter? After all, she plays a crucial role in the story. Answer? No answer. There's no answer in the Torah text. She is one of many unnamed women in the Bible. Women who turned out to be crucial in the unfolding of our history. I guess I should say his history. The later rabbis decided it was pretty unfair to leave this hero unnamed. So they called her Princess Bisya, or some say Batya. As a matter of fact, her role is so key that our sages of blessed memory declare that Bisya, this princess, joined the Erev Rav, that ragtag group of Egyptians who joined the Hebrew slaves in the Exodus. And they assert that she was actually present with the rest of us at Sinai. Next question. Why did the princess pick the little kid, whom she later named Moshe, we say Moses usually, out of the water? She recognized that he was a Hebrew boy, and she knew that her father had ordered the murder of all the Hebrew male infants. Was she simply a rebellious teenager? Or did she realize that her father was way off base, and so she determined to take at least one action to thwart his nefarious plan? Not every daughter of a tyrant or would-be tyrant acts in such a way. For the moment, forget the films you may have seen, either The Ten Commandments or Prince of Egypt. After all, they are Hollywood make-believe. Consider simply the text in the book of Exodus. Imagine for a moment the princess bringing home a baby. Yes, she arranged for a wet nurse, who happened to be Moses' mother, Yocheved, and that was a matter, as we'll hear in a moment, that was arranged by Miriam, Moses' older sister. However, after the child was weaned, the princess reared him in the palace as her very own son. I'd never thought of this. Was she a single mom? There is no reference in the biblical text to her having other children. Was this adopted son her only child? How did the princess explain to her father the presence in the palace of a Hebrew boy whom he had ordered to be killed? Well, I surmise that this Pharaoh was not a Zeta who ever changed his grandson's diaper. And now, my final questions. What if the Pharaoh's daughter hadn't decided to go bathing that day? Or what if she chose not to pick up the crying baby, but rather leave him to his fate? Would we be here tonight? Would our neighbors' children anxiously be looking up in the sky at midnight, seeking a jolly fellow on a flying sleigh? Well, here is the takeaway. The princess's action changed history. Similarly, our actions matter. Sometimes we may think we're just a little atom in the vast universe. And from a certain point of view, I suppose we are. We are, and we aren't. Judaism teaches that each of us is more than that. Each of us is created in the divine image. Each of us is called to be a partner with God in making this a better world. So, let's each do our part. And now we're ready to actually read from the Torah. You can find the reading in the larger blue book, and you'll find it on page 388. We're reading from the second chapter of the book of Shemot, the book of Exodus, and we're starting at the very first verse in chapter 2, that is Pasuk Aleph on 388. Ta'amod Chasya bat Nisan v'Leah. We call to the Torah Holly Gordon.
Baruch
Baruch Adonai
Adonai Hamvarach.
Hamvarach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Vayelech ish mi bet Levi, vayikach et bat Levi. And so a certain man of the tribe of Levi married a woman who was also from the tribe of Levi. Interestingly, these are key figures. These are Moses' parents, no names. We get the names later, but at the outset, we just hear a man marries a woman. What happens next? Well, you know, love and marriage, what happens next? Something about a horse and carriage, I think. V'tahar ha'isha v'teled bain. Well, the woman became pregnant, and she had a son. V'tera oto ki tov hu. And she took a look at him and saw he was good. V'titzpanehu shlosha yerachim. She hid him for 3 months. V'lo yechola od hitzvino. But she couldn't hide him any longer. V'tikach lo tevat gomeh. And so she took a wicker basket, tichmarab, b'chamer u'b'zafet, and she caulked it with bitumen and with pitch. V'tasem ba et hayalad, and she put the boy into this basket. V'tasem besuf al sfat hayaor, and put this basket with the baby at the edge of the river. That said, achoto merachok l'deya ma yeyaselo, and his sister, again not mentioned, but the name not mentioned, but we know it's Miriam. It's funny. It starts out by talking about this man and woman getting married and a baby being born, neglects the fact that before Moses was born, they had a son, Aaron, and they had a daughter, Miriam. But the focus is on, of course, our big hero here. Okay, so the sister stations herself some distance away to see what's going to happen to him. But Tered bat Paro lirchotz al hayaor. The Pharaoh's daughter happened to go bathing in the river that day. Un naroteha holchot al yad hayaor, and her handmaidens were walking along the banks of the river. Vatera et hateva betoch hasuf, and she saw this basket in the reeds. Vatishlach et amata, and so she sent one of her handmaidens over. Vatikachat vativtach vatirehu et hayeled, and so she opened up the basket and she saw this little boy. Vihine nar bocheh, he was crying. V'tachmol, she took pity on him. Vatomer mialdei ha'ivrim zeh. He's a child of the Hebrew people. Vatomer achoto el bat paro. And so then his sister Miriam pipes up and says to Pharaoh's daughter, Ha'ilech v'karati lach isha meneket min ha'ivriot. Should I go and get a wet nurse from the Hebrew women, the heinik lach et hayeled, so she can nurse this child? But Tomer la bat paro lechi. And so Pharaoh's daughter said, yeah, go. But telecha alma tikra et aim hayeled. And so Miriam went and picked out a suitable wet nurse who happened to be Moses' mother. Vatomer la bat paro helichi et hayeled hazeh v'henikehu li. And so Pharaoh's daughter said to Moses' mother, yes, please nurse this baby for me. Va'ani eten et scharecha, I will pay you your wages. V'tikach ha'isha hayeled v'henikuhu. And so the mother, the natural mother, took the baby and nursed him. Vayigdal hayeled. The boy grew older, meaning to the age that he didn't need a wet nurse any longer. Ve'evehu le bat paro. And so his mother now brought the child to the Pharaoh's daughter. Vayehi la leben. And he became her son. Vatikra shemo Moshe. And she, the princess, gave to this little boy his name, Moshe. Vatomer ki min hamayim mishi tihu. And she explained how she came up with the name. She said, because I drew him out of the water. And the name Moshe is related to the verb meaning to draw out.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam natan b'tochenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. We're going to offer Misha Berach for Holly, and you can find it in the Siddur on page 252. Let me get to the page also. Misha Berach Avotenu, V'imotenu, Abraham, Yitzchak, v'Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, v'Leah, Hu Yevarech et Chasya, bat Nisan, v'Leah. Ba'avur, she'alta lichvod hamakom v'lichvod haTorah. B'schar zeh HaKadosh Baruch Hu yishmereha v'yatzileha mikol tzara v'tzukah, mikol nega u'machala. Yishlach baracha b'hasacha b'chol ma'asei yadeha im kol Yisrael v'nomar Amen. I have to say, when I call out your name, Holly, of course your name is attached to your parents' name. And one of the great joys of being in this community for as long as I have been is that not only did I first meet you, I think you were probably already a college student then, but I knew your parents then and for many years after. And so as I offer this prayer for you, I think of them too. May the one who blessed our ancestor, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless Holly Gordon, who has come up to the Torah in honor of God, in honor of the Torah, in honor of Shabbat. And may she merit from the Holy One of blessing, protection, rescue from any trouble or distress, from any illness, minor or serious. May God send blessing and success in her every worthy endeavor, together with all Israel, and let us say, Amen. And as is our custom, while the Torah is still out, we're going to offer a Misha Berach for those who are ill. And in a moment, we're going to sing the Debbie Friedman. But before, I would like to mention the names of the people in our community, our family, and our friends for whom we are praying on this Shabbat. And then I will ask if there are any names that you would like to add. They would be most welcome. So we particularly think on this Shabbat, as we offer our prayer for healing, of Leo Abrahams, Heather Artunian, Fran Bowie, Georgina Chapman, Nancy Danger, Larry Drutch, Patrick Freeman, Pilar Gill, Jennifer Hansel, Laura Hedbor, Martin Heimlich, Risa Heller, Ben Hirsch, Ira Hirsch, Julie Holdaway, Savannah Jackson, Sherry Jones, Philip Klein, Rachel Corazim, Laura Laren, Joan Lerner, Nestor Melo, Yasmin Moreno, Jeanette Ruby, Karsten Strelby, Marlene Shugel-Smith, Betty Wood, Aviva Bat Moralea, Chayalea Bat Miriam, Sarah Rivka Bat Nisan, Esther Malka Chana Bat Yerut, Velva Moshe Ben Mara Leah. Do we have any other names to add? Misheberach Avotenu Korah Bracha Limatenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach Imatenu Korach Lavatenu Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. And now I'll invite Mike back up to lift the Torah. Everybody, please stand. V'zot ha'Torah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai b'yad Moshe. There you go. Okay. And while Roberta is finishing the dressing of the Torah, if you want the words for Eitz Chaim, you'll find them on 256. And when we finish Eitz Chaim putting the Torah away, we'll then go straight to the Aleinu on 282. That's it. Well, I don't know if that's the right melody, but... Eitz Chaim hi lama chazik ba v'tam feha me'ushab d'racheha sharcheinam v'kol netivoteha shalom hashivenu Adonai Elecha B'nashuva Kadesh Kadesh Yameinu Kadesh Yameinu Kekedem Aleinu L'shabeach L'adon HaKol Lateit Gedula L'yotzer Breshit Shelo asanu kegoye ha'aratzot, v'lo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gohor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu, v'ne'emar, V'haya Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. Please be seated. On page 292. When cherished ties are broken and the chain of love is shattered, only trust and the strength of faith can lighten the heaviness of the heart. At times, the pain of separation seems more than we can bear. But if we dwell too long on our loss, we embitter our hearts and harm ourselves and those about us. The psalmist said that in his affliction, he learned the law of God. And in truth, grief is a great teacher when it sends us back to serve and bless the living. We learn how to counsel and comfort those who, like ourselves, are bowed with sorrow. We learn when to keep silent in their presence and when a word will assure them of our love and our concern. Then even when they're gone, the departed are with us, moving us to live as in their higher moments they themselves wish to live. We remember them now. They live in our hearts. They are an abiding blessing. As we recite Kaddish tonight, we especially remember Charles Grossman, husband of Gracia Brown, who recently was laid to rest. We're still in the Shloshim period. And we are marking the yorsites of Simon Axelrod, Louis Boyer, Marjorie Brochner, Jack H. Brown Jr., Augusta Wexler Frank, Vivian Gold, Nett Groig, Ann W. Lazarus, Abraham Leibowitz, Elliot Paul Leibowitz, Bertha Levin, Edward Madnick, Rita Montgomery, Albert G. Myers, John Myers, Zachary Isaac Pierce, Herbert Rosenfeld, Goldie Rothblatt, George Harry Rothschild, Max Levutkin, Reuben Summers, Morris Steiner, and Anna Markovich. Are there any other names to be added? If it is your custom, I invite you to stand now for the Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divarach irutei ve'amlich malchutei, v'chayechon u'v'yomechon, v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kariv imru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam olal me almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, shemei dekudsha barichu. Leila min kol birchata, shirata, tushbachata, v'nechamata, damiran ba'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama rabat min shmaya, chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'yimru amen. V'aseh shalom b'mramav, v'yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'yimru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort all who are bereaved. Please be seated. I am so happy to introduce my neighbor, Roberta Harris.
Well, hi. I'm Roberta Harris, and I'm representing the board tonight. I want to first of all, thank everybody for coming tonight. We didn't know whether it was going to be raining or what, so thank you for coming. I want to thank Paulette Feinstein and Diane Saltzman for lighting our candles. I want to thank Mike Tucker. Where did he go? There you are. Thank you so much for helping me. I couldn't have done it without you, so thank you very much. Holly Gordon, where are you? There. Thank you so much for doing the wonderful Torah readings. Who am I missing? Oh, I am missing Dwight and Irene Borsis, who are, thank you very much for sponsoring tonight's CBT streaming tonight. And let's see, not last but not least, and Jeremy Tucker, thank you so much for giving us some music that we wouldn't normally have had. And of course, Rabbi Einstein, my neighbor. The other things I wanted to say from looking at the events coming up is there's a movie night, Tango Shalom, which is tomorrow at 7 p.m. So most of us, that don't celebrate another holiday, it might be something fun to do. Instead of going to the movies and then going out to Chinese food, we can come here. So, and then again, thank you all for being here, and Shabbat Shalom.
Okay, so to close, we're going to do Eile Chamda Libi, page 338. And wait a second, there are people talking out here, so let's see who's talking, what they're saying.
Services are not in person next week. Next Shabbat is virtual service only. We're joining Northern Synagogue, where the rabbi is leading, while Rabbi Elliot is on sabbatical. So please look for the weekly email. The link is there, but there will be no in-person services here next week.
I think that's true in most places.
Yeah, probably.
There's nothing else going on.
Yeah, not many people likely.
Okay, did you find the page? Yeah, that's it. Okay. So let's again find ourselves on the right page and we'll be ready to go. That's going to be 338. Let me find it too. 30, I'll get there. Jeremy will get there and we'll be ready to go. It's a happy, upbeat. Here we go. Eilech Hamda Libi, Chusana ve'al natitalem. Eilech Hamda, Hamda Libi, Chusana ve'al natitalem. Eilech Hamda, Hamda Libi, Chusana ve'al natitalem. Eilech Hamda Libi, Chusana ve'al natitalem. Eilech Hamda, Hamda Libi, Chusana ve'al natitalem. Eilech Hamda, Hamda Libi, Chusana ve'al natitalem. It was great being together. A special thank you again to Jeremy for bringing his special touch, which our younger set has been enjoying for many years, and now we could all share in that joy. Thank you, Jeremy. And now we're going to continue with the Kiddush and Hamotzi over here. So please stand. And let's see if you remember what you're supposed to do. Let's see if we get it the first time, which we probably won't. Okay, here we go. Sabri Chaverai. All right, it wasn't bad, but it could be better, okay? We're wishing each other life, and I'll tell you, with everything going on today, we truly wish each other l'chaim. So let's try it again. I say Sabri Chaverai, which means with the permission of my friends, we're going to get to the actual blessing in a moment. So here we go. Sabri Chaverai. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shavat kadsho, v'ahava u'ratzav, v'gilanu, zikaron l'maseh bereshit, kihu yom tevilah, lemikvei kodesh, ze'vet l'tziyat mitzrayim, kivanu v'charta, v'tanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kashecha, v'ahava u'ratzon, hinchaltanu, baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha'shabbat. I think that was one, actually. Yeah, that's nice. Thank you very much. You're right. I like the wine, you know. Okay. Baruch atah Adonai,